All right, thank you for inviting me here to speak today. And thank you, Jay, for giving the background on the CHIPS Act and how we got to where we are. I think just listening to the four speakers, can you hear me? There's a lot of common themes here. I mean, it's like accelerate innovation, translation to commercialization, workforce development, collaboration, partnership. I think, and I think that's what we're all about here, and not just amongst all the DOC initiatives, but across all the, across the world in terms of what we want to do in this space. The other thing that I thought was that Jay talked about was this, how smart it was for the funding to not only have the incentive grants for manufacturing, but to have this carve out for R&D, because I don't think that you can have one without the other, or you can have sustainable leadership without investing in both. So I think that that's really important. And also, so what I'm going to talk about is, I think some people are, let me see if I can do this. Some people, maybe not Natcast, NSTC, just to kind of clarify what the difference is between the two of them. As Jay said, NSTC was established as a public-private consortium where members from the broad semiconductor ecosystem will have access to facilities, partners, and funding opportunities for collaborative research and for workforce development. And by the broader ecosystem, we mean industry, academia, government, public-private partnership. And from industry perspective, we mean all sizes, from the substrate supplier to the end user, from startups to entrepreneurs to large companies. And also from academia, we mean research institutes as well as community colleges. So we want to engage this whole broad ecosystem. And our overarching goal is to invest in R&D and innovation within the US, to continue to strengthen and secure our leadership position for the future in semiconductors. And as noted previously by Masad, this is truly a once-in-a-generation opportunity to create a transformational center that will endure for decades and accelerate the pace of innovation. So the NSTC, here's where Natcast comes in, is operated by Natcast, which is a purpose-built nonprofit entity. And Natcast works in tandem, as you can see, with the CHIPS NSTC program office within the US Department of Commerce. Hopefully that clarifies the difference between the two, and I work for Natcast. And so what I want to spend the rest of the time talking about is just what are the focus areas for the NSTC right now. And there's primarily three. And the first area is to conduct and support world-class research across the ecosystem. And we intend to have our research agenda member informed, but we're not quite there yet. But we will be we're starting a membership campaign very soon. This fall we want to sign our first members, and we're providing many forums and opportunities for membership to provide feedback and guidance on our research agenda and the priorities of the initiatives for the NSTC. There are multiple ways that the NSTC will invest in research. One is through research awards. For members through competitive bidding process solicitations. And we had our kickoff this summer, or our first R&D projects, with our early Jumpstart program. In June, we released a funding opportunity for AI-driven RFIC design. We're holding a proposers day tomorrow here in Tyson Corner for Test Vehicle Innovation Pipeline. And we already announced the next topic, which is related to PFAS, detection and abatement. So you can expect more of these to come in the future. But other ways that we'll be supporting research will be through not only these awards, but through partnership opportunities for our members and conducting our own research within the NSTC. We also will be providing access to prototyping capabilities and facilities for researchers to advance their concepts. Natcast and the Department of Commerce have launched a site selection process to identify 3 facilities. One is an EUV center. Another is for our administrative and design facility, and the third is for prototyping and advanced packaging piloting facility. So you expect to hear more about these later this fall, but we're proceeding on schedule with identifying these facilities. So our goals here overarchingly are to support also lowering the cost of designs. That would be our second area of focus. and we want to support so that all entities can get involved, as we said, from small to large. And so we intend to have a design enablement gateway, which will provide access to design capabilities, process design kits, and infrastructure. We'll also be providing silicon aggregation services to facilitate and coordinate inclusion of designs on shuttle runs and multi-project wafers at foundries. Now, while we know that many of the large companies have access to these types of capabilities already, there are others where the complexity of the design and the processes can be very challenging to overcome for smaller companies. So by offering this, we want to get more people engaged in this community of innovation. We're also working to stand up an investment fund to support startups and entrepreneurs with promising technologies. And we'll be releasing more on all of these things soon. We're 25 people strong now, and we're growing quickly, but to set up all these different initiatives. And then finally, the third area of focus is workforce. So this is probably one of the most important, because with all the investments that we're making in incentive grants to the manufacturers and to the R&D, we're going to need to build and support a capable workforce across the entire ecosystem, from technicians to engineers and researchers. So there's a place for many skills and interests here, and we need to ensure that our potential workforce knows the opportunities exist within the ecosystem. And in July, we released a call for proposals for our initial Workforce Partnership Alliance program. This initial program will fund initiatives addressing critical U.S. jobs and skill gaps across the semiconductor design, manufacturing, and production. We expect to announce these awards also coming up. So you can see there's a lot of things we're doing. I don't know who said everything everywhere all at once, but we are doing a lot in parallel to stand up all this as quickly as possible. And I just wanted to leave you with this, is that, as I mentioned, we are going to be launching our membership campaign at the end of this month, and we want to sign our first members this fall. We want broad engagement. So if you're interested in learning more, there's a community of interest you can join. You can go to chips.gov, or you can go to natcast.org to get more information on all of these things. Thank you.